And right now, how one Lafayette nonprofit organization is helping the homeless and people in the community fight hunger. And what's being done to protect Louisiana's coastal communities. Plus, how you can help save a life.
Live from Acadiana, your local news leader, this is KLFY News 10 at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Elise Corville and filling in for Britt LaFaso. Hunger and homelessness are issues in Lafayette, issues local organizations and council members want to dissolve. News 10's Jasmine Dean spoke to community leaders about how they are feeding people.
I'm here at the new food pantry opening where the Oasis Community Coterie partnered with local leaders to combat food scarcity in the area.
We are in the middle of a food desert. It's been well documented. This is really part of a bigger initiative to address that problem.
Glenn Lazar, District 5 City Councilman, says the community is experiencing food scarcity and there is an initiative to help bring fresh food to the area.
So this just is a tool to give them something to eat if they're hungry.
Joshua Edmond, president of Oasis Community Coterie, says the new food pantry is just one of the organization's efforts to supply food to the community. He says Oasis partnered with council members and other leaders to make this pantry accessible to those who need it. It is stocked with donations from anyone who wants to drop off extra groceries and is free to the public. Members of the community say this is a good thing for children and people who are homeless.
I think it's a very good idea, especially for the kids whenever they get off of school and for the less fortunate kids and the homeless.
The opening of this pantry is just another step in ending hunger in this community. In Lafayette, Jasmine Dean, KLFY News 10.
Schools in Erath will be closed tomorrow due to electricity issues that will affect the entire city. Those schools include Erath High School, Erath Middle School, and Dozier. New information on the deadly house fire in Youngsville. Fire officials have identified the victim as 33-year-old Jordy Dugas of St. Martin Parish. A house in the 800 block of Austin Road caught fire. When firefighters arrived, officials say smoke was coming from the home. 2 of the 3 occupants were outside. They informed firefighters a friend was still inside the burning home. Now, firefighters say Dugas' body was discovered in a bedroom once the fire was brought under control. And in Acadia Parish, a missing man's case was solved when deputies determined he was actually killed in a hit-and-run crash. An Esterwood woman was arrested for his death. Tina Kibido was booked into the Acadia Parish Jail, charged with 1 count of hit-and-run resulting in death. Now, Eric Seymour was found dead August 24th on the Esterwood Highway. Now, deputies determined he was hit by a vehicle. They found fragments of that vehicle at the scene and matched it to Kibido's vehicle. Officials say 3 of the 4 bodies of boaters who went missing in the Sabine River on Friday have been recovered. The Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office is continuing to search for the remaining victim after the other 3 were found on Sunday. Officials say the 3 adults were attempting to save a juvenile from the river current but were unsuccessful. Sheriff Mark Hereford says the river can be dangerous and is constantly changing.
This is a very popular spot for people to come and swim and hang out. It's a beautiful beach. The problem is this river's dangerous. It changes daily. I mean, where it might have been ankle deep yesterday, it could be 20 feet deep today. So, and the current is extremely strong. So it doesn't take much for somebody to get in trouble pretty quickly.
The Sheriff's Office plans to continue to search and keep the rescue team all going. Tomorrow marks the 17th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, FEMA calling it the single most catastrophic natural disaster in U.S. history. FEMA calling it the single most. It's zoned in near New Orleans, hitting as a Category 3. The storm causing billions of dollars in damage, destroying hundreds of thousands of homes, and killing over 1,800 people. The loss of life and damage to properties was worsened due to the levees breaking. At one point, at least 80% of New Orleans was under floodwater. On the same day, 16 years later, Hurricane Ida slammed into southeast Louisiana as a Category 4 storm. It is the second most powerful hurricane to ever hit Louisiana, causing $75 billion in destruction. Nearly 30 people have died. News 10 Shannon Haig went to Grand Isle to look at the rebuilding process following Ida. She also explains what needs to be done to protect Louisiana's coastal communities.
Here on the shores of Grand Isle, the road to recovery is still long. There are many houses that look like they have not even been touched since Hurricane Ida came through. But speaking with the mayor, he says one of the biggest priorities is focusing on the coastal restorations in order to better protect this frontline island.
If another major hurricane cuts this island up, what's going to happen is probably have 8 to 10 feet of water in New Orleans or in St. Charles Parish. We just feel like sometimes we don't count. They think they want us to wash away.
Mayor David Carmidel is doing everything he can to protect the community he's lived in for decades. Being a barrier island, they are no stranger to storms, but as the coast washes away, he's trying to do what he calls Cajun engineering to protect against the next storm.
I'm just aggravated, here hurricane season is, you're here today, and knowing that I got 12 gaps in the levee, and I got my own little bulldozer pushing, dirt to try to save what we can on the beach. But it shouldn't take that long with the federal government.
There have been major projects to improve other barrier islands across the coast, the Trinity East Islands, Spanish Pass, and the Terrebonne Basin Islands, funded through the Deepwater Horizon oil spill payout.
They're the line between the Gulf of Mexico and our coastal bays, so they're important in that way, kind of from an ecological perspective, separating kind of the Deepwater Gulf of Mexico with our more shallow bays and our estuaries that are more inland.
For those who live on Grand Isle, it's not just the coastal protection that makes the island important. To them, the island is magical.
You wake up in the morning, you're looking at a Gulf breeze. My granddaughter was this morning on the porch looking at the Gulf and saying, "Papi, this is quiet, it's nice." And then she sees the dolphins right there in the water.
With each powerful storm, insurance rates skyrocket for coastal communities. Some don't want to return after Ida. Others are considering packing it up for good and moving inland.
Can't afford the insurance for the town hall, the city hall. So I want to keep that money to keep my budget just alive, to keep a steady check for my employees. And the hell with the insurance. And I got to do it right, and I don't mean that ugly. It's just that it went quadruple on us.
The island is faced with a lot of the issues the bayou communities are facing. Delayed insurance payouts, contractors not wanting to make the trip south, and costs being too much to even begin work. Mayor Carmidel says that he will keep fighting to rebuild and believes more can be done to prevent such catastrophic damage.
I was raised to give you the last dollar at your wallet to help somebody. That's what I did. I do that every day. I feed people, whatever I got to do, but... And I don't believe in cutting off no water, gas. It's just pay me later. And that's what I do, But as long as it's one grain of sand to plant the American flag, we're not going nowhere, so I can promise you that. And I appreciate everything everybody does. It's tough. And I think, if I need to run higher up, to wake up America, or wake up somebody to tell them that, we belong to America, and we need to protect the little towns.
The mayor has made multiple trips to Washington, D.C. to share the island's story. Congressman Garrett Graves is fighting to help them.
You can't just go out there and build protection after a storm happens. That's not helpful. You can't come in and charge people unaffordable insurance rates. That's not helpful. We've got to be more proactive and lean forward.
A major issue after Hurricane Laura was the long delay in federal money. Graves says that process has to be faster. When it comes to coastal projects, he says the process is always slow and it takes convincing of the critical need. Louisiana is in a unique situation with how the Gulf and rivers impact the geography, and the coastal protections are being watched around the globe.
You can't replace South Louisiana. And while we're experiencing some challenges with our coastal loss, with community sustainability, resilience in some cases, this is also an opportunity for us, because what's happening to our communities now is predicted to happen to coastal communities across the United States and around the world.
Grand Isle is just the tip of the spear, as the congressman described it.
The bottom line is we're on the front line. And if we don't protect this little island, that's more water, more energy coming in.
But all the way up the bayous and into the big cities, climate change and powerful storms will continue to devastate, but they don't have to. The people of South Louisiana will keep rebuilding.
And Vitalin's blood supply has diminished since the start of summer, creating a blood emergency. Donors are needed now more than ever in order to provide an adequate supply for hospitals and their patients. Appointments for all blood types are needed to achieve a sufficient 4-day supply. Christina Duyon with Vitalin tells News 10 the emergency shortage is critical for type O. Recently, Vitalin's declared O-positive blood has fallen to just 1 day's supply. Now, Duyon says the pandemic brought challenges and amidst the rebound has been stuck at a crawl.
With the hurricane season approaching, we always have to be prepared, and then we always prepare for 2 months ahead of schedule, and then you have Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, where your donations go down. So right now it's really critical that we get those donations on our shelves and ready for our hospitals.
And we have made it easier for you to sign up and donate. You can see all the information over on our website at klfy.com. And coming up, what LSU is doing to preserve the oldest man-made structures in North America.
And scattered storms in the forecast each day through this week. Get those details and a tropical update right after the break.
Watch your local news wherever you go. The new KLFY app features a live local newscast with push notifications so you never miss today's news. Watch it live now. Now, here's the live Doppler storm team, meteorologist Trevor Saunier.
Welcome back. Temperatures in the 70s for tonight. 77 in Lafayette, 77 in New Iberia, 79 degrees in Baton Rouge. Now, satellite radar looping things into motion. Let's pull the graphics up full now and take a look at what's going on. We have a trough that's located to our north. That's producing some storms off to the north. Notice Minnesota. You can see that little red area. That's actually a tornado watch. Severe weather actually happens during the summer across the northern portions of the country. But for us, our weather usually comes from the south this time of year. And we have a little trough that's situated across the Gulf, kicking off clouds and a widespread rainfall. And that will be moving to the north for tomorrow. So it looks like a good chance for storms both tomorrow and maybe on Tuesday as well, with the majority of the area getting rainfall, about 60, maybe 70% coverage. Here's your future track model. Quiet overnight, though, and then again tomorrow. Rain could start a little earlier than it did today because we have a little more instability, a little more atmospheric lift around, so rain could start sometime during the morning. Here's our latest model run, and not surprisingly, this model run is not coming in that aggressive. This model does this all the time. It comes in really aggressive one run, and then all of a sudden it drops at the next run. So I'll go with my gut here. I think we'll see 60-70% coverage for tomorrow, regardless of what this model is showing. It'll probably be aggressive again by tomorrow morning. And then by Tuesday here, notice it shows more storms once again. I'm hoping this verifies. I'm hoping we could see some sunshine and some drier weather for consecutive days, but unfortunately, I think things are against us for that for tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm at least expecting about 60% coverage, and rainfall totals could be next to nothing in some locations, but other locations could pick up a quick 2 to 2.5 inches. It will be that type of weather pattern. These storms are dumping 2 to 3 inches per hour with all the high moisture content in the atmosphere. So here's the upper level picture. We have high pressure off to our east. We have this trough here, and this is moving northward for tomorrow and Tuesday, and then we have troughs moving off to the north. So we have weakness aloft, everything coming together to give us higher rain chances through the next 48 hours. Now across the tropics, we have a few waves to tell you about. We have one across the Caribbean. It doesn't look like much now, and it's not much, but it looks like it will continue to work west-northwest, and it could try to develop in about, I'd say, 3 to 4 days, somewhere near the Yucatan. Low chance for development with that one right now. And then we have one across the central Atlantic. This one has a higher chance for development in the short term. A 50% chance in the next 2 days, 70% chance in the next 5 days. So I think this one may actually get a name first, and then it looks like this one has a low chance in about 3 to 4 days. We'll look at the long-range GFS model to see what it's showing, and notice it does show both systems actually developing, but it's actually the only model to do so right now. It develops the Caribbean wave somewhere near the Yucatan and tries to move it into the Gulf here by next Sunday. So we're talking about 7 to 8 days, which is a very long time, let's say, in model time, and especially in terms of the tropics. And then it's also developing another wave just to the north of Hispaniola. That's the Central Atlantic one. Is developing that one as well. One thing we have to watch for, look at all of this heat energy, this pink that you see, that's very warm water. That's a lot of energy for any storm moving into the Caribbean to work with. So we'll have to watch any storm moving into the Caribbean this time of year for sure. 75-year low tonight, a light south wind at about 2 to 8 miles per hour. Rain chance 20%. For tomorrow, temperatures rising into the upper 80s, and I'll put rain chances at around 60%. 7-day forecast shows scattered storms each day through the week, about 40 to 60%. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s.
Scan this QR code to download the KLFY weather app, sponsored by Southside Roofing. You can join
The Artemis 1 space launch is set for tomorrow, and New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell plans to attend. All eyes will be on the Kennedy Space Center watching the uncrewed mission. NASA says it is the first in a series of increasingly complex missions. This is a major step in NASA's plan to eventually send the United States back to the moon. NASA's Artemis program plans on landing the first woman and first person of color on the moon and explore more of the moon's surface. The last time humans stepped foot on the moon was 50 years ago. And there's a big piece of history on LSU's campus. News 10's Jessica Knox has more on the discovery.
Right behind me